Today's video are all the expensive things I've bought in my life that I regret buying. There are tens of thousands of dollars of purchase regrets in this video, so hopefully you can see if the reason I regret the purchase would apply to you, then you can save your money, and then maybe I'll just feel a little bit better about all my money that is down the drain, because at least I could help someone else out, right? But before we get into it, I have to shamelessly plug my channel. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. Okay, I hope this goes without saying, but as I go through these, I'm not trying to be a snob. I feel blessed that I could even afford any of this stuff to begin with. I realize that this video is the epitome of first world problems. But again, if my lessons learned can help you in evaluating big ticket purchases, that's all I'm trying to do in this video. And some of my regrets could be purchase faves for you. They're based on my life and my life circumstances. All right, disclaimer over. I hope if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm not an asshole. First purchase regret was getting a beautiful white cloth couch with non-removable covers when I was pregnant for the first time. Now, I can't blame my former self too much for this. I was young, naive. I had no concept of how messy kids are. I just wanted a light, bright living area. Is that too much to ask? It did not take long to realize that this was a grave mistake after birthing my twins who had really bad reflux. They would spit up projectile vomit, like all that stuff, all the time. And our main living area was our only living area, which is where that giant, beautiful white cloth couch resided. And I put blankets over it, burp cloths, towels. I tried to cover it as much as I could to protect it, but there was only so much I could do. When projectiles were flying, it would seep in immediately, and once it seeped in, there was nothing you could do to get it out. Even if my kids didn't have reflux, they become toddlers very quickly. Grimy hands get rubbed all over furniture, and if you have white furniture, it's gonna look grimy. So lesson here, if you plan on having children and you don't think you are going to have the capacity to watch them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I would suggest getting a leather or pleather couch instead of a cloth couch, and try to focus on darker colors, grays or browns instead of bright whites. Next regret is the only other furniture regret I have on this list, and that is the large lazy boy rocking type chair that we bought for our living room. Once my twins hit the toddler stage, it just gave me heart attacks daily because they like to pop out the foot thing and then slam it shut. And if you look at the area under the footrest, it's full of bars and crap that could definitely take off an arm when, like, if one of them put their arm in and the other one slammed it shut, it would not be good. So we don't use the chair anymore. We have the foot part pushed up against the wall so that my kids can't pop it out and hurt each other. And because of this new positioning, it can't be sat in, it can't be used, and that's the whole point of the chair, was to sit in it and use it. My next regret is the car I bought when I was expecting for the first time. I knew I was pregnant with twins, and I also knew that I wanted to have 1 to maybe 2 more kids very close in age to my twins, and yet I still bought a Ford Explorer with captain seats in the middle. It worked great when I just had my twins. I loved it when I just had my twins. So if you're only going to have 2 kids, it's a perfect family car. But when I got pregnant with my third, when my twins were only 15 months old, the Ford Explorer did not work anymore for our family setup. When my third was going to be born, my twins were still going to be using their car seats rear facing, and having 2 rear facing car seats in the captain seats blocks off any path for adults to get into the third seat to buckle the third child in. And being that my twins were not even going to be 2 yet, there was no way they were going to be able to crawl into the third seat on their own, get into their car seats, buckle themselves in. It was just not even possible for our family to make it work. To own a car for less than 2 years is just a huge waste of money. So it is a real big purchase regret. I should have just gotten my Honda Odyssey minivan from the start. I absolutely love it now. And believe me, I did not want to be a minivan mom. I looked at every other possible car option that could fit 3 car seats to try to avoid minivan life, and it all always came back to the minivan. It's affordable, it's fuel efficient for its size, it's so spacious. I have 1,000,000 cup holders. I can fit all the car seats in the middle row and then just have a massive back seat for groceries, strollers, whatever. For long road trips, once my twins were forward facing, we have a little TV that pops down so they can watch movies or shows. In the front seat where I am, we have this thing called Cabin Watch. So in like my navigation screen, I can set it so that it is looking back and spying on the kids. So if my twins are bickering or kicking each other or fighting, I know who to yell at. Like, this is not sponsored in any way. I've never had a sponsored video. No one wants to sponsor me because I think I'm too honest. But I love my Honda Odyssey minivan. If you are planning on having more than 2 kids, it's the perfect car. Next regret is my Dyson vacuum cleaner. I got it at Costco. I don't know if they cheapen up the Costco ones in some way. I know it was less expensive than getting it at other stores, but my Costco Dyson vacuum cleaner is a POS. It is broken on me so many times. I've had to get it replaced twice because it just stopped sucking, which is its only job as a vacuum cleaner. My most recent replacement works for the most part, like the main portion of the vacuum works, but the little hand part that you use to get into corners and underneath things stopped working about 2 months ago, and I'm done replacing it. I have zero confidence in it at this point. As long as the main part is working, I'm fine with it. But if it follows the lifespan of its brothers, I'm sure that will even stop working any day now. So please comment below the vacuum cleaner that you use and love, because once this Dyson stops working, I'm just done. I'm done with it. Okay, I think I need to calm down a little bit. I'm like starting to get worked up talking about all these regrets. I'm getting irate over it again. My next regret is mostly my husband's fault because he's the one who bought it, but he got my twins this little riding Jeep off of Amazon. He hand-picked it out because it has large rubber treaded wheels for better traction, and it has a larger, more powerful battery for extra speed. And you know who doesn't need to be driving super fast in a car that has really great takeoff? My toddlers, or any toddlers for that matter. I don't even have a link for where he bought it because I'm sure it was discontinued for not being safe or appropriate for the age of kids it was being targeted to. Plus, not to mention, it only fits 2 kids, and I have 3 kids. So in the rare instance that we take it to one of the big open parks near our house where they can't crash into anything or anyone, someone is always left out and feeling bad because they're not the one getting to ride in it. What we should have gotten is this Perego John Deere Gator. 2 can ride in the front with a 3rd in the back. It doesn't go unnecessarily fast, and it has regular plastic non-treaded wheels so that your kids can't go off-roading, because toddlers should not go off-roading. They're still learning how to run without tripping all the time. Why would they need to go off-roading? Believe me, my husband has heard an earful on this one. But I can't hate on him too much because I am not infallible either. The next purchase regret is 100% my fault, and that is getting a giant inflatable pool to go into our backyard. I thought it would be great for summer, and unfortunately I was wrong. It takes forever to blow it up, even with an electric pump. Then you can't just leave it out there all the time or all the grass underneath of it will die. So then you have to deflate it every time you use it, and that takes forever as well. We ended up just getting rid of it because it was just way too time consuming to set up and take down and figure out where to store it, which we never figured that out. What we use now, our kids are perfectly happy with. They have a water table. We have like a tiny non-blow-up pool that we can pull out and put away very easily. Sometimes we just turn on a sprinkler. There's plenty of other ways kids can entertain themselves with water. It's not rocket science. It's not that complicated. I just didn't need to buy this giant big pool when they're perfectly happy with just any form of water. This next regret is kind of random, but it still irks me, so I hope to spare you if you are like me. I like to sleep in just pitch blackness. I like to feel like I'm trapped in a cave and there's no light sources available. And so in order to achieve this, I did what I thought normal people would do, and I just bought blackout curtains thinking it would black out my room. I bought them, they were non-returnable. That should have been my first red flag. I hung them up in the evening, went to bed so excited to just get amazing sleep, and I was woken up in the morning by a bunch of light coming through my blackout curtains. It was that morning that I learned that in order to really actually get blackout curtains, they need to be labeled 100% blackout. Because if they're just labeled blackout, they're not actually blackout. They just block some light, which I think is BS and misleading. Anyways, you may be thinking, oh, this one's not a big deal. Curtains aren't that expensive. Yeah, they are. They're expensive, because I bought blackout curtains for all the bedrooms in my house. I have 4 bedrooms in my house. To cover all the windows in each of the bedrooms with blackout curtains, I bought 12 panels. Each panel was $25 a pop. So I spent over $300 after tax on covering all my bedroom windows with blackout curtains that are not actually blackout. And I'm an idiot who bought them as non-returnable items because I was able to get a little bit better deal buying them clearanced that way. And I'm not about to spend even more money taking these down and then replacing them with 100% blackout curtains, because those are even more expensive. So I'm just going to live with light coming into my room in the mornings. My next regret isn't like a super big regret. It's more so just a little lesson for the future, because I am happy with my mattress, but I always thought that you had to spend a ton of money to get a nice mattress and a good night's sleep. And then I stayed over at a friend's house and she had the most comfortable guest bed I have ever slept in. And I asked her the next morning what her mattress was because it was so nice, and she told me that what she does is she just buys the cheapest mattress and then she just puts on a really nice memory foam topper, and then it feels just like the more luxurious, expensive beds. And it really does. So in my guest bedroom upstairs, I took that learning: cheap mattress, nice memory foam topper, and everyone who stays at my house raves about it. But just a good hack if you're about to buy a mattress. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get a good night's sleep. My next regret seems super obvious now, but when we moved into our house, we got Blu-ray players for every TV. Does anyone out there still watch Blu-ray or DVDs? Like, comment below if you do. We haven't used them once. We stream everything on Hulu, Netflix, or HBO. I have no use for any of these Blu-ray players or the millions and millions of DVDs we have in our house. On one of these days, I just need to declutter all of that. But yes, we did not need to purchase all new Blu-ray players for every TV. I hope you enjoyed my mini rant and got a takeaway or two that'll help you save money in the future. Please comment below one of your big purchase regrets that you learned from so that we can all learn from it. Then click on one of my other videos that should be floating over my face at this point, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.